Today we're going to talk about conflict, resolution, and how those two can help you figure out the theme of a text. So first, let's define some terms. Conflict, you're probably pretty familiar with, but it's the problems or the struggles the characters face in a story. That can also include obstacles that stand in the way of a character getting what it wants. It can be a problem with nature, a difficult circumstance, anything that creates difficulty for the character. Next, we have the resolution, which is how the struggle is ended. One thing that's important to remember is that it doesn't always mean that the problem will be solved or that the character will get what they want. It just means that the struggle is over at the end. So, for example, in Macbeth, the conflict that Macbeth faces is that he wants to be king, but there's someone else in line before him to get to the throne. He attempts to solve that problem himself by committing murder. The resolution of the play is that Macbeth does not get what he wants. He does not get to remain king. In fact, he is killed by his enemies. The correct king is put back on the throne, and that's the resolution. That's what ends the struggle. So it's a resolution, but it's not necessarily positive for the main character in this case. The more negative resolutions are more common in more advanced works of literature. In children's literature, we usually expect a happy ending, but for adults, that's often not the case. Finally, we need to know what theme is. So remember that theme is the message or life lesson that we can infer from the story. This is almost never going to be directly stated, and we're going to use details from the text in order to figure out what the theme is. So let's look at an example using the movie Finding Nemo.
Come on, Nemo! How far can you go? My dad says it's not safe.
Nemo! No!
Dad?
You're about to swim in open water!
No, I wasn't.
It's just a good thing I was here.
Dad,
If I hadn't shown up, I don't know.
He wasn't gonna go. Yeah, he was too afraid. No, I wasn't.
This does not concern you, kids. And you're lucky I don't tell your parents you were out there. You know you can't swim well.
I can swim fine, Dad, okay?
No, it's not okay. You shouldn't be anywhere near here. Okay, I was right. You know what? We'll start school in a year or two.
No, Dad, just because you're scared of the
Clearly you're not ready and you're not coming back until you are. You think you could do these things, but you just can't, Nemo.
I hate you.
There's nothing to gather over there. Excuse me, is there anything I can do? I am a scientist, sir. Is there any problem?
You know, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt things. He isn't a good swimmer, and I just think it's a little too soon for him to be out here unsupervised.
Well, I can assure you he's quite safe with me.
Look, I'm sure he is. But you have a large class, and he can get lost, from sight if you're not looking. No, I'm not saying you're not looking.
Oh my gosh! Nemo's swimming out the sea!
Nemo!
So in Finding Nemo, the main conflict is that Marlin is afraid of losing Nemo. He doesn't believe that Nemo is as physically able as others his age, and so he puts a lot of limitations on Nemo. Nemo, like most kids, wants to be more independent, and he tries to prove himself by swimming out to touch the boat. In the end, he's captured by fishermen, and this sets off a chain of events that leads Marlin to have to swim across the entire ocean to try to get his son back. So the conflict is directly caused by Marlin's own fears and past experiences and his unwillingness to trust in his kid's ability. Now, let's skip ahead and look at the resolution of the movie.
Again!
Dad, there's no time! It's the only way we can save Dory! I can do this!
You're right. I know you can.
Look, he's in!
Now go! Hurry!
Tell all the fish to swim now!
Well, you heard my son? Come on! Keep swimming! Just keep swimming! That's it!
Keep swimming.
Almost there! Keep swimming! Dory, where's Nemo?
There!
Oh no. Nemo! Nemo? Nemo? It's okay. Daddy's here. Daddy's got you.
Daddy,
Oh, thank goodness.
Dad, I don't hate you.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm so sorry, Nemo.
So, in this scene, we see the resolution of the conflict. Marlin is faced with a situation where he has to trust Nemo in order to save his friend Dory. So, Marlin has learned to let Nemo go and learns to believe in Nemo's ability. Because of this, Marlin and Nemo are able to save Dory, and Nemo and Marlin have a moment where he apologizes and Nemo says he doesn't hate his dad anymore. Which resolves the conflict between father and son, and it also resolves the conflict in the beliefs about Nemo's abilities. So, one of the things we need to do when figuring out the theme of the story is ask ourselves, what's causing the major conflicts in the story? What had to happen or change in order for that conflict to resolve? So, the cause of the major conflict in the story is that Marlin is too afraid of losing his son and doesn't trust in his son's abilities. In order for that to resolve, Marlin had to learn to trust Nemo and let go and give him the chance to prove himself. So, the next thing we need to figure out is what lesson this implies that we could apply to real life. And that's what we call the theme, the lesson. So, some possible themes in Finding Nemo. First, parents must learn to let go and trust their children. Second, people are capable of doing more when their loved ones believe in them. And third, overcoming fear and persevering through challenges leads to success. All three of these themes are supported by the conflict and how it is resolved in this movie. And remember, anytime that we are talking about theme, we always want to state it as a complete sentence. A theme is never just a single word. So you would not say the theme of Finding Nemo is trust or family or confidence. You would state it as learning to trust. It's important for parents to learn to trust their children. So next time that you are asked to figure out the theme of a story, ask yourself, what was the conflict and what caused it? How was that conflict resolved and what had to change for that to happen? And then what lesson can we infer based on those details?